You got the win, that's the most important thing. What did you make of your own performance there?
In honesty, I sprained my ankle 2 weeks ago before this fight, and I wasn't able to do a lot. So the grappling, I was trying to keep the exchanges limited, that I was coming to the end of the round I would have been able to catch my breath rather than a scramble and we get back to the feet. But that's MMA, you've got to adapt even in your training camps. So of course I'd like to get the finish, but I think this is 364 days since I made my first walk in Dublin, considering I came off 2 spinal surgeries and I have 4 UFC fights now. I'm doing pretty alright.
That first round, you know, at the end of the first round he nearly sunk in that rear naked choke on you. Was it close to being locked in?
No, sure. You can hold them out, and I knew at the time, even if I was going out, I would have came back in the minute the buzzer went. But this is what happens. It's a scramble. I don't know. I'd like to see the scramble again, but there was a scramble and he ended up on my back somehow. But I thought that I was secure on that triangle, but he had like half of his glove in, and everyone knows I make that triangle go jingle jangle. But today it just wasn't there with me.
Your training camp, you mentioned it there, it must have been tough. Half of SPG over in Mexico, half of them in Vegas. And the thing that I noticed is you were training mainly with a lot of amateurs, and you're rewarding these guys. Richie Smullins in your corner tonight as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of the guys, anybody that knows, and you'll know from all the guys that we train with, that these guys are exceptional. These guys are, they leave their houses every day and they come and train, and they chase the dream of what we're having. And to be able to be a guide in life for them guys, and maybe hack through the jungle for them is amazing.
Well then, I know you were talking about Stevie Ray's just about to finish.
Paddy, obviously we know how loud the Irish are, but it seems like the Scottish are, you know, representing their country, you know, proudly as well. What was it like being in that arena?
Well, the Almighty Father says I'm alright, but he said, "You sure you're fucked?" So it was kind of like that situation today. I think coming over to Scotland, I was the Irish guy, and the Scottish welcomed me with open arms as always. And as we can see, Stevie Ray has just had to blow the roof off the place there. And I know what these guys are feeling now, because as I say, it's 364 days since I've done the same thing in my own town, and it's absolutely amazing to share it with these guys. Let's get drunk together.
How bad was the ankle? Was it stopping you doing things? I know at the end of the 3rd round when you got back up, it seemed like you'd think Vaughan was going to try getting a firefight with you. Just seemed to see the round out.
Yeah, as I said, I sprained my ankle, and it changed a lot, not just in the fight and how I was moving. And, at the start of the camp I popped my collarbone as well, so I was grappling for half of the camp, and then I was doing stand-up for half of the camp because of a collarbone, then I was grappling for half of the camp because of an ankle. And then, so we just sellotaped it on and threw Lara's head, so it's just the way it is.
You mentioned bringing your son here to watch you.
You were the Warford just on your knees.
How would you say that?
You were the Warford just on your knees.
Have you spoken to your son? Have you seen him?
No, I know he's in the crowd now with my face on a flag, shaking it. It's exceptional, you know what I mean? It's amazing to be able to do that as a father. And I just want to see him now. I can't wait. I know he's up there now. My friend Adam was looking after him, and he got a free trip here out of it, so I'm looking forward to going on holidays to Barcelona next week. I've promised him this holiday since last year in July, and he's such a good kid. I understand that. I understand. I told him I had £5 left to cut, and he patted me on the back and said, "Jesus, that's not bad, Dad. You're getting better." So he's a great little kid, you know, and he's on this journey with me. It's Team Hooligan, me, him, and my dog.
It looked like you were asking Brian Stan for one more thing. You thought you were going to get to talk again on the microphone. Was there something, a message you wanted to get out there?
I wanted to say it to my son. I wanted to say it. Here we are again, son. I told you, this is what all the sacrifice is. Them days that I have to go running when I put you to bed, and when I wake up in the morning and I drop you to school, and sometimes I can't go to McDonald's with you and I can't do these things. And as I've said, he's such a good kid. He understands all of this, and he's 7, nearly 8 now. And I never had a father to show me how to do it, so we're a team, we're doing well. I wanted to say that to him.
And find a bit of confusion, yes, among Irish fans, because you got onto the scales and after stripping down from sweats. Was the weight cut harder this time, or was it just oversight?
What happened was that the scales that I had, we stood on it, we cut the weight down, we were sitting there on the bed, 2 hours to go to weigh in, and I moved the scales, and when I stood on it, it went up by £1, and we had like 20 minutes to go. No matter where I moved it around, it was still up £1. So we just adapted again, and we put the sweats on in the room, and we got warm, and we travelled to the arena with the sweats on, and moved around in the arena with the sweats on, and then took them off, and I actually seen something on Twitter that somebody put up and it made me laugh my ass off today. He said, Paddy Holohan fighting back against the Ryanair charges, taking off all my clothes, and he had a gift with something of it, so I reflected that guy, yeah, but no, the weight cut wasn't harder this time. The weight cut's good for me, you know, I have it down to a science, and that's my 4th time making it this year, and I've made 125, I always shot to 123 before, so it's no problem to me, and you see I can do 3 5-minute rounds, it's good to go.
October 24, you know, Dublin, the UFC returns to Dublin. The excitement's over, I can already see it on your face. Are you ready for that?
I love Dublin, man. Dublin is the greatest city on earth. Tallaght in Dublin is the greatest city, and then a place called Jonestown inside Tallaght, inside Dublin, is the greatest place ever. And I love my people. I love Dublin. I love Ireland. I can't wait to get back to Dublin, and I can't wait to put a show on there again. As a somebody this time, I'm not coming as the warm-up act this time. You know what I mean? I'm coming as someone that's inspiring a whole nation as well.
Paddy, obviously a lot of the team members have been out in Vegas with the Conor McGregor camp, and a lot of them, I'm assuming, will be there while he coaches on The Ultimate Fighter as well. How does that change the dynamic in the SBG camp in Dublin, and how does that affect perhaps your preparation?
As I always say, we are like a pack of Vikings. You know what I mean? We train, and we trade war tactics if you must, and say arms. And when the guys are away, it's easy to just send a video to somebody and say, check out this new thing, or how are you throwing this kick, and then you send a video. It's such a different world that we live in these days, and excuses are very easy to get. And if you want to find an excuse, you won't have to look too hard. But if you want to find a way, you have to be a special type of person and adapt and come over and refuse to find excuses.
You told us that you want to get to that position where Conor is. What's next for you, and how long do you think it's going to take you to get to that kind of position?
Well, I'd say I'll be fighting on Dublin. I'd say that's for sure. And I don't want to be in Conor's position. I admire Conor, and Conor has what he wants. That's what he wants, and I want what I want. And we all understand that. Conor understands that. Our whole team. It's the world that don't understand that. Where I am now, I live in Jobstown. I live in a council estate. I still live in my mother's house. That's where I want to be. You know what I mean? It's not a choice. That's where I'm happiest. You can give me a mansion and you can give me other things, but I won't be happy here. I'm happy in Jobstown.